to headbang.
Shit, you're telling me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of BPMs, where Black Party Metal takes over our lives on a daily occasion.
Sean?
I
want to hear the Black Party Metal.
You want to hear the Black Party Metal?
Yeah, I do.
Well, then go ahead. Give me the Black Party Metal. What was that? I think there's a monster in the room. What do you think, Jan?
Oh, I'll zip up.
You're zipping up. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Blaine, a.k.a. Papa Bear. To my left is Jan, the photographer.
Hi.
And joining us especially today is from the remote land of Arizona, Sean LaBrue. How you doing today, Sean?
I'm doing well, guys. How's it going?
Doing fantastic. So, for those of you who do not know who Sean LaBrue is, he is the singer of Decayer. Can you give me just like a brutal, gut-wrenching Decayer?
Yeah, you want to hear like a Decayer, or just like a...
We want to hear what you think is
newer.
Decayer.
You just give me Decayer. Like, just give me
Decayer.
scream Decayer into your microphone.
Okay. Decayer!
There you go. Thank you. That's all I needed. So,
I'm moist.
you guys come from Arizona. What part of Arizona are you from?
So we're based kind of all around. The guys are in Tucson. I'm in Phoenix.
Awesome. Okay. So you guys are a 4-piece, correct?
We are. Correct.
All right. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys just dropped the new Pestilence EP. Is this correct?
That is right.
Awesome. So for those who do not know, Decayer is a fantastic band. If you've never checked them out before, they go by Arizona Deathcore. Definitely go out, check them out. Make sure you're checking them up out on Facebook, all the social medias, having some fun with them. Do you guys have YouTube channels and all that as well?
So actually, we post all of our videos, everything that like drops, lyric wise, music video wise, drops on through our label Seek and Strike channel on YouTube.
Awesome. So Seek and Strike on YouTube. Make sure to check that out. Look up Decayer stuff because it is fantastic.
Instead of looking it up, just click the link down below.
Oh, you've got the links? You're going to make it the hot links? I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm going to fancy with this motherfucker.
There we
I'm
go.
trying to point wherever that's at, but wherever it is shows
it's
up
in the
later,
place.
it's going to be there.
I just point right towards his wiener because he usually tries to make it like sexualized so that way it gets more marketing out there because that's what he does for a specialty on the side is marketing.
I'm a wiener marketing specialist.
How about that side hustle, baby?
Oh, yeah. Well, it used to be OnlyFans, but now it's only Yawns. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Only Yawns. I love it.
No, that's because that's the only response I get. People just yawn and go, "Look, really? That's it?"
But the new EP, it's called Pestilence. It is a 5-track album, if I am not mistaken. I personally am a huge fan of Dead Soul and Devil's Tongue. I think those songs are just fantastic. Obviously, the whole album or the whole EP is really good, and I really enjoy it. But those two songs stand out especially for me. So can you tell me a little bit about Decayer and what the thought process and the emotional process was for this album?
Yeah, there was a lot of different feelings towards this release. I mean, we kind of call it a pandemic release, and the fact of we came off of a EP right before that. You know what I mean? Like 6 months, 7 months before that, we had Shades of Grief drop, and that was when I wasn't in it. So our old vocalist Harrison dropped that. He had left, and we were just hadn't played any of those things live. There wasn't a music video for anything off that. We were kind of put in that position of like, what's next, and for me, lyrically, 4 years later coming back, it was a different change. So Pestilence is kind of like the next stage of this band, I would say, while carrying on from Shades of Grief. But just kind of with me back, more matured, and trying to just lead us into the next sound of what we want to do. So David, our guitarist, I think that he really kind of found his sound and his songwriting ability with Pestilence. It's just been as he believes, is strong to date, and we're really behind it. So we're excited, man. It's been crazy. It's been, like I said again, pandemic release, because it's not the type of release where we were on tour when we were releasing it, right? So it's different, but we're happy, and we're ready for everything next.
So out of curiosity, when you're talking about a pandemic release, I think one of the things is, you drop an album like that, you start getting that feedback when you go on tour, you have people listen to it. What is it like for you as a musician, kind of sitting in your bedroom, watching comments come in on social media instead?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy just to think that in its own way that everybody is having to blast all these different types of marketing now. over just having the basic, like, go on tour, have your merch, and just have really great YouTube videos, and, you know, and like spread your name around that through the scene. But it's been different, man, having kind of the sense of us having to jump and learn and grow more within social media to keep alive and to try to stay on top and continue doing what we're doing. So I think in its own sense, like integrating that and like more of a sense of awareness and working different, you know, algorithms and different things that we're doing is going to help us in the long run with going back to touring and just everything in general.
Okay.
Awesome. So the kind of what we do is we kind of like have topics as we kind of like jump into having conversations with other artists and interviewing them about their album releases. Obviously, one of the things we kind of want to dive into with you guys while we have you here today is talking about like the pandemic overall, you know, like how it affected it, how you coming back out of it. And one of the big things that, you know, you said that you had dropped another EP right before the pandemic had hit. Had you guys had plans to like go and tour and do that whole run that most bands would normally go through? Or was it just you dropped it and then pandemic hit before you had a chance to line all that out?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much the situation that they were put in. Yeah, as you know, obviously you put out a single before you release the whole thing, and the kind of the hype draws from that. But yeah, just put in the face of not really having the next step, you know, because none of us really knew what was going on. Everybody included, even outside of the music industry as well. But
some people still don't know what's going on.
Yeah, some people still, I don't even know what's going on half the time, man. Yeah, it's, I guess the unknown was a difficult kind of like barrier for the band. I wasn't in it at the point, but I did join during the pandemic, kind of like in a little bit in the beginning, I would say. So we had just a lot of work to do because we said, okay, hey, like, you know, well, hey, we released this. So that means that we need to build stronger, and we have to, you know, it's like almost like coming out with more work when we're ready to go. So we're just trying to prepare ourselves the best we can to be able to bring that all alive and be able to, you know, give recognition to everything that we've released and make sure that we play the right tracks live too.
That's fair. So I know for a lot of bands, you know, with the pandemic, songwriting, even band practice kind of suffered. How did that hit Decayer? How's that been for you guys?
Yeah, I remember in the beginning of rejoining, I mean, there just was no band practice. It was just, let's start writing. We're fortunate to have our own studio. Our guitarist, David, runs his own studio. And so we just lose ourselves in the lab over there, as I like to say. And we just got straight to writing, and we just knew like, hey, let's take advantage of, you know, as much marketing tools as we can right now to try to work into later. Let's get ahead of writing. Let's start writing even stuff after Pestilence, you know, drops. Let's just keep alive and let's do as much as we can do. So when that opportunity does come back, we could really have a great plan.
Nice. So when you guys are sitting there and you guys are working, I'm assuming that you guys are doing the writing process remotely with each other, correct?
No. So it was a straight up mask up situation. Pretty much. We, for Pestilence, we would get together at David's, and actually just like mask up and have like, cause I live in Phoenix, so I'd have to go down and track all my stuff with him. Sometimes it'd be me and him. Sometimes it'd be our drummer and our bassist there. Sometimes it'd be, you know, David and our bassist getting together. It was just people having to make it work, you know, around our schedule and doing it like that. But I have done features and stuff like that. And I've had to connect over FaceTime and stuff like that to do them, just to work with the person because they're not, you know, remotely available.
Just to confirm what you're saying there, you've remotely tracked your vocals through FaceTime.
Correct.
Why don't you give us the story on this one? Yes. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll give a short story to it. So yeah, I mean, like in its own sense, you know, remote desktop client, having my buddy who I was working with on this, he was able to gain access of our Reaper, just our whole entire thing, our whole session. So it was really cool. We were like working with, I had a AirPod in, like running this, and then I had these in up here. And what I was doing is I keep that in, and it was so classic too. He wasn't getting audio back on his side, so he would have to like click play and put his thing on, and then I'd have to click play and put mine back. But what we were able to do is we were able to line everything up, and just pretty much, I think what it came down to is him and I are definitely like kind of savants with like kind of perfectionist, you know what I mean? And I like respect him enough to want to do that, to take the time to do it. And it took forever, man.
I was gonna say that sounds like it would take a hot minute.
It took forever, man. It was a lot of patience, but it made me realize that, like, you know, if you just kind of hone in and focus, you really can use the technology you have around you to your abilities. And I mean, like Mike's, like these SM7B, they've been around for a minute, but like the phone technology of being able to like visually be there and do is just insane. So yeah, successfully have done that.
Sweet.
That's awesome. So are you saying that he was remote linking into your computer for your Reaper?
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
gave access. We had a live session in Reaper. He could, I mean, legitimate, both of us were scrolling our mouses and we could like see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've actually not heard of anybody doing that yet. So that's actually really
I haven't
impressive.
either. I've had many a tech support do this to me, but I like this way better.
Oh, you mean they didn't just ask if you could turn on and turn off your computer?
No. Come on now.
You know, what's funny is that's where we kind of got it from too as well. I mean, like I work in sales and stuff like that with tech and whatnot. They do the remote. And I was just like,
Oh yeah.
even he brought it to us, like, why don't we just do like a remote session and try to run Reaper over it? It works.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, no,
It
that's
works.
actually really cool. One of the
Yeah.
things that I enjoy the most is taking tech and seeing how I can break it. So, and not from the sense of like, I want to smash it on the table, but like,
I do.
what can you get away with? What
Well, that-
can you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
with this? You know?
Yeah.
I also
What's really in this, you know?
Exactly.
I do love, you know, the fact that, you know, you guys just took something that's like, fuck it, let's see if it works kind of attitude
Yeah.
and making it work. I mean, I'm assuming you made it work.
Well, and you know what? What it really came down to, man, was like we couldn't get together.
Mhm.
And this song, it's not even out yet, but when it does, you guys will hear it. And it's just crazy because him and I, even in the whole process of it, like it was the type of track where, you know, I did the entire track. So it wasn't just a line, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it was the type of thing where I needed to be with him. So we were putting it off until we finally were just like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's just run it. Let's try it. And
I love this.
crazy, man. If I didn't have an iPhone 12, if it was like a 10 or below, like no way. It just wouldn't have worked at all. But
If I only
Yeah.
had 100 meg internet, this would be screwed right about now.
yeah. That's right, man.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Well, that is awesome. We'll definitely keep in touch with us so that way when we know it pops, we can check that out and definitely
Yeah.
like do something with it on the show so we can make sure
Yeah,
to bring
yeah,
that
yeah.
up as
I'll
a
link you guys
refresh.
the track. Yeah, and it's funny too because I think him and I were talking about. I was like, I've never heard of somebody else like remotely tracking. So if people more people do it, then we did it first.
You know, I'm really surprised. Reaper, I guess so much I'm not surprised by because Reaper really is user friendly. I really love them for that process of things.
Yeah.
It's $60 and they know what they're doing.
Well, I mean, but they built it literally in the basis of like, we're trying to give musicians the tools. We're not here like,
Yeah.
Oh,
you
they
know,
made their
Pro
money on
Tools
Winamp.
and all
Come
that
on.
stuff, trying to make all their money like continuously through subscriptions and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they really do give a shit about
It's
the
full
community.
professional studio quality for a good price. And
Yeah.
it's funny too, is I feel like most people are honestly using that nowadays.
Yeah.
No, there really is. A lot of the underground scene has been moving towards Reaper, and I really respect them for what they've been able to accomplish. And even if you don't pay for the $60 for it, it says like what
Still
is it?
evaluating.
It's like like you get 3 or 6 months or something like that for
No, I'm
free.
still evaluating.
But I know, but I mean, but even if you go past that, it'll still
Yeah.
just let you keep using it. But you just don't get
Yeah.
like those unannoying little messages to go away, you know. But it's
They're
just
just
like
that
fun.
good of people.
Yeah, and they really do care about the musicians out there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome.
But I'd be curious to see like how that would work with other programs, like you know, like the Cubase and all that stuff out
mean,
there that everybody uses.
I don't think you can get Pro Tools to work consistently on one PC, let alone multiple.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
Pro Tools charges so much damn money for everything, and don't get me wrong, they're good when it works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I can only imagine two guys trying to remote desktop into each other, trying to do that over FaceTime, trying to make an album into Pro
Is-
Tools.
is
Is
it-
like,
is it-
and no,
Is it crashing-
Somehow
is it
get
crashing on
hacked
your side
within the process of it, you know.
Right.
Someone's keylogging your computer from the remote desktop, whatever something's happening.
Okay, so the album though, Pestilence, it dropped on June 18th. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, I couldn't even think back to the day it dropped.
It's
Look
a
at
good
you.
thing I do my homework
18th.
there,
That's
buddy.
right. I appreciate you, brother.
So,
When you guys dropped that album, what was your guys' like first thoughts with that. So like one of the things that I noticed is I went to your Facebook page. I looked at your shopping section for your guys' page for your guys' merch. I didn't even see a CD available. Did you guys only go digital?
No, so we actually dropped our official merch store. So we wanted to do, we had a couple hiccups, honestly, with exactly what we wanted to do with the merch. What it came down to is we wanted to just kind of run an exclusive run, especially kind of supporting the festivals that we're playing soon. And so what we did is we kind of waited a little bit. We let the streams kind of go to digital, and then we just did an order of Pestilence. It's actually right there. The whole order is right there.
It's just off screen, man.
It's just off screen, the whole exclusive Decayer merch drop. But yeah, we just dropped it, which is the Deathosaurus tee. And
wait, did you just say Deathosaurus?
Deathosaurus, yeah.
Is it like it's like a dinosaur theme?
Yeah, it's like a dinosaur. It's like a dinosaur, but it's so funny, man. When I saw it, I was like, Deathosaurus.
Dude,
like that's.
We need to chat more after this, so I can see some of this stuff, so I can buy some shit.
It's on our Instagram. No, it's on our Instagram. We have a whole. So we just dropped the store like 2 days ago. We did it super low key, but the idea behind it is this: we're doing like a CD. Shirt duo, like merch bundle. You can buy the CD alone or you can buy the shirt. But right after that, we're going to drop, I guess I'm announcing it now, but we're going to drop a bunch more designs we have behind it that we had planned. And then we're probably going to do a different like variant style of Pestilence, potentially vinyl.
Dude,
or just
if you do
stuff
vinyl,
like that.
Vinyl is my bread and butter. I am a
Are
sucker
you? Okay,
for
awesome.
vinyl.
Yeah. I feel like, dude, vinyl is just, it's a collector's item now. And I feel like
it really is.
For good reason.
Yeah.
If I was to have the camera to be panable right now, I actually have some records hanging up and I actually display them with the record out and the case with it. I absolutely adore records, especially now that we've gotten to the point where they can do like the splatter effects and all the cool shit with them. Like, dude, collector's item hand in hand for me. It just
makes them more unique too, man. I feel like it really, it breaks it down, and it's in this metal community as well. Everything is exclusive. I'm just going to grab one of the CDs. I'll show you.
Go for it, man. Go for it. We're excited about it.
Meanwhile, I do want to talk about this very important fact that we kind of haven't brought up. And it's been blatantly on the screen the whole podcast.
Boxers and briefs?
Nah, PS5, man.
All right, so this is the
he is a Sony bro?
Yeah, he is.
He's a Sony bro. Fuck yeah.
Sony bro. Of course I am. Yeah, that's my baby back there.
Yeah, I have one too. I finally got my hands on one.
Right there. Yeah, dude. It took a while. Took a while. I'm very, very fortunate to have it. Do you play Apex by any chance?
I don't play Apex, but
I do, but only on PC.
Right, but I'm a big
cross compatible.
Yeah, I'm probably going to jump back into it. I was on it on PS4 and I haven't gone into it back since I got on the PS5, but we just got done. My son just beat Spider-Man Miles Morales today. I've been getting down on Demon's Souls hard because I'm a huge From Software fan.
How is that? How is that game? Should I get that?
So good. Are you a From Software fan? Like, do you like Bloodborne and
Dark
Souls?
I haven't picked up the new one.
Honestly, the only other time I've seen him this happy to get his ass kicked was in a mosh pit.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta get it done for sure.
Yeah, Demon's Souls is great, dude. If you're a fan of any of the FromSoft games, they are so fantastic.
I've been playing Star Wars: The Fallen Order.
My man.
It's amazing, man. That was my first experience, like seeing the PS5 graphics come to life. And I like spent a minute just like looking at the background, just like, like using the right stick to pano and do the circle. I was like, God damn, man, this is crazy.
So the first game that I got down on, I believe, was Ratchet and Clank, wasn't it?
Astro's fucking Playground.
Oh, Astro's Playroom. Don't get me wrong. That thing is fucking fun as shit. I love that game.
That's cool.
But I got down on
it was
Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, the newest one. Dude, I did the same thing. I was looking around the world like, oh my fuck. Like,
dude, I've been hearing good things about that game.
It's so good. It's so good.
That's so nostalgic. That's so nostalgic too, man.
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank. I'm like, I gotta get that.
All right, so you went and you grabbed your CD. I want to see that. Hold it up for me.
So here is the. Oh, look at it's you guys in the reflection.
Right?
It's you guys.
If you send me the image for it, I'll throw it up on the screen.
I'll do it. There's that. And then this is proof because some people were like, I don't think the CD is existent. So I'm like going to show some fucking proof right now to it, baby. There it is right there.
Oh,
nice. It's coming alive. We have it for sale. These are going to be exclusive and these jewel just to this first kind of run. And I'm signing some of them as well. So if you guys get that,
nice.
I'm doing that.
don't you worry. You'll be seeing orders coming in soon. Don't worry. Like straight up, we don't. If there's ever a band that we do stuff with, like I always buy stuff on like my iTunes, just because my phone is literally my music source everywhere I go. But
yeah, absolutely.
Every band that we've ever dealt with, every band that I listen to and I buy digitally, I still buy their CDs. I still buy their shirts. It's like I don't even use the CD. I just have it. But it's mine, so
yeah, it's yours, and no one can take it away from you.
Exactly.
I can try.
Well, what's funny is even he'll buy CDs, and he doesn't even own a CD player. His computer doesn't have a disc drive. His car doesn't have a CD player, and he still buys CDs. So I'm just like, dude, at least I have stuff I can play it on.
It's the American dream, man. Just you got to own it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It is.
I'm not even American. I'm owning this shit. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. No, but we really appreciate that. Thank you. Because you know what I mean? It does go a long way for bands. I mean, any band out there knows that it doesn't matter if you're top band all the way to the bottom, but sales go a long way. And, merch to bands too, selling our stuff, it means something to us. So.
Oh, yeah.
So on that note, we kind of, to kind of travel back into the horrid reality of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Without shows, selling merch is. Have you guys noticed that it's harder to, or is it different, or how has it been?
Yeah, we pretty
dropped
much
an EP right before the pandemic.
Yeah,
that would be a big deal.
It was brutal. So there was nothing. There was pretty much little to. I mean, there was a Shades of Grief drop, kind of like exclusive to some stuff. But after that, I mean, we had so many members change in the band. I mean, it was different. Kind of going back to, which is, some people know this, some people don't, but everyone in the band right now is the original group from the band.
Oh, nice.
And so that's like who we had for this Pestilence EP. It went back to these original members, with our, Harrison, who was with me in the beginning and up until that leaving, and some other members who had joined in kind of in later releases and whatnot. So we, it's been like that.
So, and on that note too, like I think when you guys originally started, it was very much let's just make stuff we love. That's what when I first heard Decayer, I was like, you guys all came from different projects, and that was kind of let's throw it together and make it happen. Has the new EP, has Pestilence kind of been that bringing it back to that? What's been different about from first writing material to writing Pestilence?
So yeah, I think Decayer, the whole intention of Decayer was like, let's be a heavy deathcore band. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do the dual vocalist thing. I think we were just like, we looked at kind of like Despised Icon and bands like that, of having that just like powerful like duo. And we wanted to like rock every single range of all time. So I think the beginning kind of vibe that Decayer was pushing is to just heavy. And that changed kind of along the way when we started just adding those choruses and stuff, and these different amounts of depth within the emotion behind the lyrics and everything like that. So it's funny because it's kind of a blur. Like our first EP, we were talking about politics. We were talking about.
Yo, we're angry on that first EP.
Yeah, we were pissed. You know what I mean? We were all over the place. I was like 20 years old, I think, on that, 21. So yeah, man, at that point, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about, but now.
but you were angry, and that's what you wanted to get across, and you did.
Yeah. We were all, and I was in my hometown at that point, still in Tucson, and I left Decayer with the purpose to not better myself, but I just wanted to jump out of the music scene. I wanted to put my career first, and I didn't think I would join back, but it was definitely something that I just like loved and continued loving. And I actually started practicing my vocals more than ever when I left, because it was almost like all the pressure was off. Like I'm just kind of like not back to square one, but like new area, new scene, new people. I could be whoever the fuck I want to be. So it was cool. And it was just like, it was relaxing. And I got to watch Decayer grow, and they were grinding and they were getting into these releases. So when I rejoined, it just kind of felt like it was almost the right time. It felt like it was natural. And when I was younger, these things that I had built up that I wanted to talk about and write about, I couldn't do. And I legitimately was able to just get everything out and put it on Pestilence. So like Pestilence was me finally getting all those things out and talking about my life, my friends, lovers, haters, fighters, the whole nine, you know what I mean? So it's cool now because I know going into the future releases of what we do, it's going to be a different tone in its own sense, because, we're a very next chapter type of band. We want to continue advancing. we know that the scene's always changing. We're not old, we're not new in its sense, but we're always trying to shoot for the next thing, definitely, while always keeping our same kind of sound in our platform that we've been pushing.
That's awesome. No, one of the things that we like to do, and I don't know if you've like actually gone through and heard a lot of our podcasts or anything like that.
He's heard all of them and he's memorized them.
That's wow.
Yeah,
you're better than me then. Shit, come take over.
Before I go to bed to it actually.
But it's one of those things that
too. It's great.
Yeah.
What we always like to do is we like to try to teach fans, bands, photographers, promoters. Most of our episodes are around a theme, and if you go back and watch them, you'll kind of hear that kind of stuff. But one of the things is why I bring that up is because something you brought up is very important, and I think it's something that we haven't really touched on a lot. And I'll keep it brief. It doesn't have to become a whole thing or anything like that. But taking a break from being a musician is sometimes so much more therapeutic and helps you to evolve. Because like you said, when you stepped away from it, you found you had more time to work on your vocals. You had more time to find those true emotions and the way you wanted to express music. And then when you came back, it's like it was natural. Mm-hmm. It's like you'd never really like truly walked away from music. You had just given yourself the time and opportunity to really hone in on what your music is and how you can display that to the world.
And it's not like taking a break from being a musician, but from being in a band.
Yeah. And sometimes it's, you know, bands get into these ruts. And one of the things I hate seeing is that they get into these ruts and they start butting heads and then they fall apart and they break up. And it's like, you don't have to do that. You guys can admit to yourselves, hey, let's take 3 to 6 months. Let's take a breather. Let's go be family people. Let's focus on our careers for a minute. Think about what we really want in life. And then if most times I've found they can come back, they're better than ever because they had that chance to, we're not grinding ourselves, beating our head against a wall. We actually found a peace of mind and actually figured out, hey, you know, I really do love this and I do miss it. I don't want to give it up. But I just was banging against a wall because of repetition after a while. And that happens.
Yeah. There's pressure too, I'm sure.
It's almost like giving yourself like self-love, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's even, I remember like thinking back, I mean, I was like, you know, is this worth it? Is this not worth it? But there was a big part of me that knew it wasn't over.
Yeah.
And a big part of me that knew that if I love this as much as as much as I do, then the same energy I put into it, I'll put back potentially later or find my way back into it. And it's funny because it didn't really come from that. Joining back in Decayer kind of like, I have a marketing company called Filthy Breakdowns on Instagram. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not.
I actually have,
Cool. Filthy Breakdowns.
There you go.
We'll circle back to that.
I started marketing with bands on there and man, I learned a lot like about some stuff that was new. Some of these new things that bands are doing, new things in the scene, how the scene is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say maybe into 4 months of running that page and doing my thing, the dudes in Decayer hit me up. And there was one thing I lacked in before when I was in it was kind of like some of that marketing and understanding like how to run that, you know, that algorithm. And really in the end of it, what it comes down to is learning your own algorithm. So it was just, I always say this to everyone, it's just the right time. And what you said, it is therapeutic. You know, I remember I didn't go to a show for like, even before that, like in that entire time, I remember not going to a show for years. Like there were shows rolling through. I moved to the bigger city of Arizona, you know what I mean? And there were shows rolling through. I had to get out for a second, you know, and I remember just hearing all these new releases come out and I was like, God damn, you know what I mean? Like, God damn, I got to get back in this. And, I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at now.
That's awesome. I am so glad to hear that. And I'm so glad that, like I said, that worked out for you and it really helped you to kind of like find your own focus in what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Now that you've brought it up, let's talk about Filthy Breakdowns for a second.
I thought we were going to get back to that about a little bit in, but sure.
No.
Okay.
Let's let them talk about this for now.
Okay.
So give everybody the kind of like elevator pitch of Filthy Breakdowns for me.
Yeah, man. So Filthy Breakdowns, started off as like an archive of what I wanted to, it's just all the music that I loved. I just like one day during the pandemic was bored and was like, you know what, instead of like showing my buddies like, yo, this is so sick. Why don't I just post a clip of it, do it, and, you know, have them link to the page or have the page known and they can check it out. It was like more of a hobby, almost for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of noticed a small following of people engaging in it, you know, and I just kind of shot some love back, and I just stayed active into it, which kind of led into it growing into promoting bands and putting them on the page as the face, and being able to work that algorithm into now we're looking at almost 14,000 followers, and I make meme edits for the page that promote the band's single on the breakdown and stuff like that, all the way to 9 to the Spotify playlist, and just being able to get your like track featured on the same day or something like that. But just that awareness within Instagram and being able to like shine in its own sense. So Filthy Breakdowns is really cool because it's been like a connecting tool for me to meet a lot of the upcomers and work with a lot of bands that have been in the rise, like the dudes in Worm Shepherd. I've known those guys now for over a year, and they're just so powerful. They've gone on to, they're doing huge things now. And I think it's been a team like effort all the way around, which has kind of flipped itself around. It's something that I like do as a side business for myself, which I love. Mm-hmm. And it can be frustrating at times. It can be amazing at times. It can be just crazy, but I love it, man.
Never frustrating. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Marketing is just marketing and deadlines are just so simple, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
but yeah, Filthy Breakdowns has turned into kind of, in my own sense, like a kind of a HubSpot for bands to get noticed by the follower base that we have and be able to get those reshares to to get some more plays, some organic plays, because that's what we push over there is organic growth.
Yeah, we don't need none of that like for likes share bullshit. Let's actually make fans out of this and make friends.
Considered organic growth, though.
It's not organic. That is not organic. It's not in my industry.
It's sold as organic.
Yeah. It's been cool, man. Because like I said, again, I have been so fortunate to meet so many cool like upcoming bands. I do partnering. I partner with a lot of bands and help them out with like PR and stuff like that. And it has helped me grow my own marketing for Decayer and to lead that. So
cool.
The mix between both, the mix between both is awesome. It's still a growing thing. And I hope one day to turn it to a full, like, fledged management team.
That's awesome, man.
Fingers
That's
crossed,
super fantastic to hear.
Thank you.
I honestly didn't know that you were a part of that. And that makes me sad because it's like I took the time to research you and I didn't figure that out.
No one knows. Yeah, a lot of people don't know, man, but it's just me. It's just me who runs it.
That's awesome, dude.
I'm not going to lie. I wasn't aware of it either, but we did a sound check earlier and I saw a shirt and I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm going to look it up.
What is that? Yeah.
No, dude, if you haven't scoped it out, I actually do know Filthy Breakdowns. It is super awesome. You should go check it out and scope that thing out on a regular basis. It is a great tool for finding a whole ton of bands out there. And as soon as you said it, I was like, no way. Yeah, I know what that is. Okay.
Appreciate you, bro.
I mean, I thought it was just like a collection of videos of David Hasselhoff breaking down in front of. Anyway.
Well, it is, dude. You got to slide to the second clip.
You don't mess with the Hoff. He will break you down if you're not careful.
That's right. Mentally and spiritually.
Yeah. Am I a hamburger? Is that what this is? Anyway.
So one of the things I also want to ask too is that so you do that with Filthy Breakdowns. We actually got introduced to each other through Cameron Norris of the Dreamer Agency.
Yes.
So I believe
my man Cameron.
He is a stellar dude. We've had him on here before. We've had a full interview with him talking about the Dreamer Agency and what he's about and what he brings to the music scenes. Fantastic guy. I love the dude to death. And I've always told him, anything that you want help with talking about, you just reach out to me. We got you on lock. So, because Cameron is just such a stand-up guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if I'm not, I don't know what the tie is. I apologize for that, but I believe you two are working together as far as Decayer and the Dreamer Agency, correct?
Yeah. So Cameron is our official manager.
Okay, cool. So he's the official manager for you guys now. I just knew you guys worked together. I just didn't know exactly what you guys were doing together. So
yeah, we were fortunate to. So funny. We were fortunate to. I actually through some friends that they're in some other bands and stuff like that. were able to get me in contact with him and for us to meet, and we were excited about it. And we kind of just shot back and forth, kind of the vision that we saw from it, and it just aligned perfectly. And we're very, very lucky to have Cameron. Cameron's awesome. And even within the short amount of time of him joining our team, there's been some major positive like things that have happened.
Now, I do have to ask, are you contractually obligated to tell us that he's awesome?
No, I am like, it's like me telling you from every part of it.
I'm just saying.
Jan, shut up.
Cameron,
Cameron paid me $200 to say it. I'm just gonna shoot.
Wait a minute, you got $200? What the? We're shortchanging ourselves. We got $5.
How much you pay you guys?
No, but absolutely love Cameron and everything the Dreamer Agency is about. I know that his roster of bands that he's been dealing with for a while, we promote them all the time. We had the bass player of Marked Life come on here and have an interview with us as well. Marked Life
is my boy.
Good.
That is
the Jammin'
coolest
cat in the purple hat. Isn't that what that is?
Yeah. James. Yeah. Dude, that man is a funk master, bro, on stage. And just like he's like actually like, there's bassists out there in metal bands, and they're
he's a bass player. He is a
that dude gets down, man.
Yeah.
We were talking with him, and he was telling us in the interview about some of the jazz artists that he listens to, and just listening to him talk, I was like, oh, this guy actually really knows how to play a bass, not just pretend. It's like he gets it.
When I first met him, I said that too. So I was like, you're like actually a bassist.
Yeah.
So this is something that actually is something I wanted to get into a little bit. And it kind of ties in perfectly. So Decayer, you guys are a deathcore band.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everyone and their mom is in at least 2 of those nowadays. And a lot of them sound very similar. Now, especially with the Pestilence album, I feel like you guys have found like your own sound. And from what you said, you guys were a group of people who just wanted to play deathcore and be heavy. Growing up from how are you finding those influences to make Decayer sound wise?
Yeah. It's like, I think really like the drive where it comes down to over the past couple releases is some of these choruses, some of these different things that we are structure. I would say more like there's a lot of bands, deathcore bands, that are just doing the simplistic breakdown, blast beat, breakdown, blast beat, done.
No.
Right. But I mean, and it's cool. And it's cool. You know what I mean? Like I listen to that shit too, but
same. I'll give it crap, but I'll still listen to it and love it.
But Decayer really, really focuses on the structure, and having really hard hitting choruses and like hooks and making sure that our lines are, it's like almost like giving a little bit, not too much, but giving a little bit too, you know what I mean? Like we try to hit almost like right in the middle to almost like give room to what we want to do next so that we don't go too in. And Pestilence, which is cool about Pestilence, is we like, because we were already writing new music, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't like saying to ourselves, this is going to be the heaviest release to date. This isn't going to be that, but this is going to be our strongest release to date in terms of structure and songwriting and understanding of what we'll do next, because a lot of bands have that problem. You know what I mean? Like they'll release a full length, they'll release an EP. And it's just so different, from one another. So I think going off of each release has been the strongest move. And I think a big thing that's changing now too is it's a singles game. So each bands are dropping like single, look at the Acacia Strain. They had that like during the pandemic, they were able to get through that entire Slow Decay release with one track every couple of months, and just insane artwork with it. So that goes back behind the marketing, and that goes back behind like creating that longevity of your stuff, because, in the end of it, you're a band, you have, single music video, and the stuff's out and it's done. And the next band has something that releases the next day. So it's like, how can you keep everyone engaged? How can you keep everybody excited for more? And so, that's super important to us. And that's why with Pestilence, we were going for super punchy. And that's, I think, a big element for us on Pestilence is punchiness. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and when we were talking earlier, I was saying that off the Pestilence EP, my two favorite songs that I've had off of it are Dead Soul and Devil Tongue. And the reason I think I like that, and it's cool that you brought up that it's like the choruses, the hooks, you know, the structure that we're going for it. Dead Soul comes off to me as more of like that fast pace, power punchy kind of get in your face kind of a thing. Devil Tongue has that too, but then the choruses and the hooks are actually what grabbed me in Devil's Tongue. So it's like, it's cool because you do have a good balance going on with that EP. I really like that a lot. So it's cool to like hear you actually state that in your, you know, reference, like what makes us us. It's like, we're working on that structure, those choruses, those hooks. That sentence right there was like, yeah, that's about right. That's what caught me at it real quick. So
yeah, no, we're an open book with it too. It's really been important to us, and sometimes taking the extra time to make sure it's right and that we're really loving it. I mean, we're not the type of band that writes 15 songs and picks off 5 from the thing. We're the type of band that writes 5 tracks, and those are the tracks that are going out, you know.
You're picking 5 and you're making them as solid and as strong as you possibly can, as opposed to let's just spitball and then we'll pick our favorites out of it.
Yeah. We're, instead of just kind of like picking up and stopping and going piece to piece, we're really about working as a team to make sure that one track is the best it can be, so that we can, you know, fall on that. And it's cool with Dead Soul because we didn't really know what people's favorite will be. I've heard a lot of different things. Dead Soul has definitely been like one of the favorite of the EP. But we decided to drop that for the music video and for the single because we felt like it had kind of that element still of like deathcore band heavy. But we knew that when these other tracks would come in, that it would hit the listener kind of differently. Yeah.
No, it's definitely a good EP from start to finish. I would highly suggest it to everybody.
Thank you,
don't just pick a favorite, like go through everything and actually listen to the EP. Yes. It is a fantastic EP. And I like the fact that you guys are more about the quality instead of the quantity. That really does, like, there's too many bands out there that are like, oh, I wrote this song, but this one's our banger. You know, it's like, if you really try to focus and realize that it's like, hey, you can stop wasting so much of your time if you actually put the focus into really genuinely structure music. And you get a lot of bands out there where it's like, oh, well, think about one-hit wonders. Why are they one-hit wonders? Because their one song was structured so perfectly, and then everything else was just kind of something that was thrown into the album.
You mean because that's the one they hired the ghostwriter for?
That too.
Right.
But it's one of those things. There's a lot of bands out there that I love and I listen to, and it's like, man, it sucks because they've got such great potential, but people only know like the single that got dropped because they never went out to go check out the rest of the album or the EP. And I can tell you, you know, it's like that era that you're talking about that we're in, where it's like single music video and it's out there, you know, we're getting more and more into that phase where it's like people are actually taking the time to individualize more of the songs off of an album to show people like, no, this album's solid from start to finish. Don't just buy the single on your iTunes or your Android, Google Play, Amazon, whatever. Give the album a try and you will be blown away. So it's really cool to start seeing bands like really take some focus into that.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because I think like, I mean, I know in its own sense, like with albums and EPs now, I mean, personally, I'd be down with just doing EPs forever, just because with the albums, it's like so much pressure to have so many tracks. You know what I mean? It's almost like you have a kind of a consolidated list with your EP, which feels so strong, but like you said again. So I think that there's going to be more EPs than albums in the future. Like I would maybe love that. That's just,
I actually advise it.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
So as somebody who's been a musician for a long time as well, and then also getting into the promotional things where it's like I book shows and I get bands and I set them all up. The one thing that I always find so frustrating is when you find bands that are like, oh, I'm charged, and it's cheaper to sell an EP as well. You know, instead of having to ask 10 to 15 bucks for your CD, you can ask 5 and still not be losing. You know, it still works in your favor.
Well,
and
me
go ahead.
I think as a listener too, you know, if you have a band that you really love, that's great. And I think we all have that one band. You're like, I don't care what they release, I want to listen to it forever, and that's fine. But I think a lot of us are just like, okay, I like this by this band, I like this. I don't know if that album's for me. If it's an EP, you know, instead of one album every 4 to 5 years, maybe you get an EP every year, 2 years, and you're like, okay, I like this sound. I like this sound.
Yeah.
It allows you to experiment as a musician. It allows you to interact with your fans and see like, oh, what are you guys expecting from us? Are you enjoying this? Cool. If not, well, fuck you probably. But let's be real.
No, seriously.
There's a lot of, opportunity for growing your own style, for trying new things. I think as a musician and as a fan, I don't know, that appeals to me.
I think what's also important about that from a marketing perspective as well is that right now, I don't know if this is like a following character or not. What is the creature that is on the cover of your guys' album for Pestilence?
Yeah, so that's the Bornless one.
Okay, so the Bornless one. So you've dropped this EP, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the Bornless one here in just a second. You have him. So now that this EP is dropped, your marketing can go around that. Your shirts, your stickers, your whatever it is you're planning to sell, that can be like your mascot for that album. Then if you have another EP, say in a year and a half to 2 years, you're not waiting. You got a whole new merch line because of the new art that you're going to be producing, that from the inspiration from that album as well. So I find too many bands sit in a rut as well of like, oh, if we're making the full-fledged 15-track, albums and stuff like that, those take 3 to 4 years to kind of get out the door, and they're stuck with the same merch line because they don't have anything new to show to represent from it. And I like that a lot, that EPs give you that opportunity, not just from the musical standpoint, but from your artistic standpoint as well, and your merch standpoint and your online marketing. You get to change everything with every album or EP drop. Utilize that. It's a chance to be fresh and keep on top of the ball. So if your fans come back and you play a show in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and then say you go back and you play in a year, you have new merch, you have a new EP, you have new shit ready to go, instead of holding out for so long to get it to the people. And then they get tired of waiting, and that's where you get people that lose interest.
I've definitely gone to shows where I'm like, oh, I really like this band. I'm going to wear their shirt to the show because I want to show my support. And I go to their merch table and I'm like, oh, I'm already wearing that. Where's the rest?
Yeah. So it's a good opportunity for everybody to grow with that kind of stuff. I think EPs are fantastic.
And it's almost like when you break it down, it's like an album nowadays is like 2 EPs in one. And then like take one of the EPs and just throw them away, because it's either you have such a good album or you got an album where there's 4 good tracks and no one even heard some of the other tracks. So you're right. You can really capitalize on the success of less tracks because it's almost easier to keep the listener. They're going to get through it. I mean, it's easy to get through EPs. You know what I mean? Sometimes you could just be jamming through it. It's like, boom, it's over. And then you're going back into it again. You know what I mean? And I think, just all around, that is the new wave. That's what we're pushing into. And it's cool with the Bornless one because I wouldn't say we really had a mascot, and it's kind of funny, but like it ended up like being the mascot, but we didn't really like plan for it. It was just like an element of what was in a lot of the songs, like, sign from wretched God, praise claim to the Bornless one line that we have. But it's cool because it's like, it's a cool like message. It's a cool meaning.
That's awesome. So you guys thinking that you might go like an In Flames route and have him like your jester?
All right, come on. I'm gonna get a guy to come on stilts on stage, dog. What are you talking about?
There you go. That's what we're talking about.
I'm available for hire.
Right, dude. I remember Rob Zombie, man, like would come out on stage and he'd be on like some 10-foot stilts. And I remember being young, being like, that's awesome.
So, speaking of which, that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to dive into very quickly.
Yeah.
To you, as you are the front man of a band. What drives you to make a show unique, and how do you do it?
Oh my goodness, this is a funny question because I haven't played a show in over 3 years.
I know.
Man, I love this, right? Like, this isn't something we're making $1 million off. Maybe there's a couple bands that are making crazy good money, but to be in this scene, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
So it's I know that Decayer is not going to be forever, obviously. I also know that like my music career is not going to be forever. It's going to be something that I'm always going to keep with me, but I'm going to enjoy it to the highest degree every single day and work as hard as I can. And with that, the amount of fans we have, the amount of love, it's just made me so excited with Pestilence. With just the feedback I got, because I was nervous. Like, coming from that first EP with a co-vocalist, you know, just being one of the voices to just being a main voice. It's important to me to bring that hype to real life. So I've played in a lot of bands before. I'm pretty crazy naturally, so it just kind of works out.
You're
but I've
crazy?
got
Really?
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm pretty reserved right now, but you can't tell behind the eyes, bro.
Oh, you and me can have some story time later because
Let's
he
do it,
knows
dude.
firsthand that I'm a crazy asshole. So
You know what? In the end, we all are. It's just how we filter it,
exactly.
you know? But yeah, I've just got a lot of energy and I practice every day. And luckily, you know, so for me, I got my studio over here. I can practice from here. I've got the instrumentals. I am every day for at least 3 hours practicing.
That's fantastic.
Have been doing it for months. And like I said, again, it's all about being the best we can be.
I love that. That's his way of doing it every day, at least 3 hours a day. I'm surprised if I can even see people get together once a week for 3 hours, let alone every day. That is fantastic.
How much do your roommates hate you though?
Oh, dude, I've been hated by so many, bro. You know, it's so funny. You know, it's actually so funny, man, is earlier. So I just moved to this house. I moved up more North Phoenix. I was in Chandler before. But I had my window cracked. I had an incense popping, you know what I mean? I was like, I was doing some feature stuff and I look over and there's like these little kids just like, and I was like, damn. But yeah, it was more of my parents, man. I give my parents more props growing up. They were so cool with just allowing me to do all this. I mean, because there was a point when this shit didn't sound good, you know.
Well, no, we all grow. I mean,
Yeah,
I understand that completely.
Yeah. But I remember having like a huge, man, I had like a double stack amp for guitar and I like plugged the microphone into it, turned that gain all the way to the top and thought that's how I would, you know, do like vocals and stuff like that. So I've been through the whole nine. And now I don't know. I think I'm just good with timing and making sure I do it at the right time. But my roommates have been cool, man. All of them have been like weirdly supportive of it.
Well, I would imagine that you aren't just like picking roommates that it's like randomly out of a magazine article. You know, you kind of maybe know
like,
the people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, hey, by the way, I'm in a band. So like, if you hear that shit, it's not an exorcism going down in the room. It's just like.
But even if you do hear it and you think it's an exorcism, fuck off because this is my private space. I pay my rent.
Yeah, right. That's right.
That's awesome. So, okay, so Pestilence, it's just dropped. Do you guys have tour plans? Do you guys, I mean, and if you haven't announced them, that's fine. But do you have plans to push this, or are you guys kind of waiting it out? I know that there's a lot of talk in the CDC and stuff like that where they're like, we're probably going to have to go back to lockdowns for the fall and winter. Are you worried about that? Are you guys holding your guns, or what are you doing?
You know what? I think we're at the point of like we've definitely felt the shift of life coming back, especially for us here in Arizona. Stuff was opened, you know, months and months kind of before stuff started opening.
I was going to say, you guys were pretty early on.
Weirdly early, man. but yeah, so we opened our stuff back up. So for us, it's kind of felt like, you know, we're back open, but in reality, yeah, like we are definitely prepared to say like, okay, no, we're going to have to, you know, postpone this. I can't really announce too much stuff on tours, stuff
That's
like
fine.
that, but I can 100% say that we're playing a really cool festival called Northern Alliance with Unity, Madball, Lionheart, bunch of cool bands, and we're playing that on August 1st, day 2.
Nice.
And we're playing with Marked Life actually, and a bunch of cool bands in Salt Lake City, I think a month after that. And we're playing in LA, so I think a date routed between that. So what we're doing right now is you know, we had Pestilence drop. We didn't do a EP release just because it wasn't the time, man. It just was not for us. We didn't feel like it was the right time for us to do it. We still plan on doing one. And we want to make that awesome just because we know that, you know, even in this time right now, because we're in the pandemic still and we're still doing our thing, that doesn't mean that you can't, you know, celebrate this release we have at a later time. So what we want to do is we got to get this stuff played. You know, Shades of Grief, there's tracks on there that we want to play live, you know, we haven't played in a long time. So getting back to the focus of that, and then us moving to Europe as well, not moving, but getting ourselves over to Europe because we have a lot of fans out there. And as well, our label mates, a lot of them are from there. So we've got plans, man. We just are trying to make the right ones and work with our schedule.
I just be warned, Europeans are fucking weird.
Coming from one straight mouth. So.
Yeah, right.
I know. I see one in the mirror daily, dude. It's weird.
Right. Actually, I've got a question for you. Before we like separate, before the day is done and all that stuff, I want you to shoot me the date and the location of where you're playing that show in Salt Lake.
Absolutely.
Might have to make a little trip and come down and see you in person and actually come
Dude, that would be awesome, man.
Because I've been wanting to catch Marked Life ever since I first found them. And like I said, catching up with you guys as well. I mean, you guys would be two fucking amazing bands to catch in the same night. Why would I not want to make a trip for that?
Dude, and we would love to have you there. Seriously.
I'd love to be there. I'm a semi driver. So, I mean, before I became a mechanic guy, I was a semi driver. So it's one of those things where it's like long drives don't mean shit to me. So,
exactly. Well, would even be more classic as if you showed up in the semi.
I mean, I could possibly make that a reality.
That'd be so dope, man. That'd be so
just
cool.
Borrow one.
I'd be like, we're moving the set to the semi. We're moving the set to the back of the semi.
I'll just show up with a flatbed and a generator on it. Let's go, boys. We're going down the street.
Yeah. I'm gonna make everybody in that back alley lot with all the trailers. I'm gonna be like, my boy is rolling through. Get the fuck out of here.
He's got to unload our gear, dude. Show up and it's like one little box of like Tic Tacs or some shit.
Yeah, dude. You just get out and park it, and you're just like, oh, I'm done.
This could be the weirdest tour video I've ever seen. I'm about it.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
It's a tour around the block. That's when they pulled us over.
That's right. It's gonna be a crazy festival though. We're excited for that. We've never played Salt Lake. But yeah, no, going back to that, our big push right now is just getting out there touring and playing live and playing as many festivals as we can. Awesome. I think that we in the past personally, like there was not enough touring in that time that they could have done, and now we are going to do that. We have the right team for it. We've got a lot of booking and a lot of stuff like that, so we're stoked, man.
Yeah, and with you guys having Cameron on your guys' team as well, he's going to do right by you guys and make sure you guys are locked out. We like, for us, when it really comes down to it, like we really believe in, like, we'd rather work with the guy, not saying Cameron's like this because the Dreamer Agency is killing it, but even if it comes down to a guy that's like less well known, who works harder than the guy that has like a million different, roster under him, whatever. We believe in that hard work. We believe in organic growth, and, small moves can make a big difference. And we realized once we kind of aligned, I think for us, it was building that team, and getting Cameron to our team really made the whole dream kind of come together and become realistic. So there's a lot that's going to change, positive, like positive stuff like that. But there's a lot coming for Decayer, and we're excited, and we're ready now to kind of break into that. Awesome. I'm super ecstatic to hear that. I can't wait. I know that I want to catch you guys live. So for sure, totally keep us in the loop with that stuff, because I am all about that shit, and I am not afraid to travel. So is there anything else you would kind of like to bring up about this Pestilence EP before we move on to kind of like the next segment? Man, other than that, people should buy it. Go buy it. Right. Go buy it. You know what? Go buy it. Go stream it. I don't even care if you illegally download it. Who gives a shit? Just listen to Pestilence. That's awesome. About it. So before we get into the next segment, one of the things I didn't get to bring up is you guys are a 4-piece. Can you tell me the other members of the band and their positions? Yes. So David is our guitarist. Keith is our bassist. And Taylor is our drummer. Okay, cool. So, and it's a singer who remember his bandmates, man. It's cool. I like this. I hate you so much. I'm the singer in my band. He gives me shit all fucking day for this crap. Oh, dude, honestly, I have times where I'm like, literally, like, I can't remember. Most times it's David, my name like I forget. Oh man, yeah. It's the guy with the sticks who counts the 4 a lot. Or you call your friend your own name. Yeah. Just like, bro, you got to turn around and come back on that one. Hi everybody, I'm Jan, aka Papa Bear, and to my left is Blaine, the photographer. Yeah. And then I go, I'm Jan. Right. And this is why we call this Only Jan. Yeah. Only Jan. The third guy that doesn't know what to say. He's just like, I'm Jan. But
This
yeah,
whole episode's cursed.
oh, no, it's not. This is a fantastic episode. So like Sean said, please, everybody go out there. Make sure to check out the new album, Pestilence EP. Make sure to go out and buy it, download it illegally. He doesn't give a fuck. Just get out there, listen to it, show it to your homies.
Yeah.
Make sure you're checking out their social media pages. I would also suggest checking out the Filthy Breakdowns on Instagram, and also making sure that you check out the Dreamer Agency, because all of these are fantastic things. But definitely, you said there's a different merch setup on the Instagram than there is on the Facebook. Is that correct?
No, so we've got both. I mean, there's one link to it. It's our new Big Cartel store.
Okay.
We unfortunately couldn't get access to our old store, and we just went ahead and rebuilt a new one. So that link that you will find on our Instagram, it's also in the bio right there. It'll go straight
That's
to it.
right here, probably too.
The bio right
odds are there.
Bio right there. It'll go straight to it though.
There you go.
Okay, awesome. So, but make sure you go check it out. I believe that I saw that you guys have hoodies, beanies. You've got, I think, want to say 3 or 4 different shirt designs that I saw. Is that correct?
So, man, we don't have. Okay, so Seek and Strike. That's we have a couple different like merch stores and stuff like that. Our label has a merch store.
Is that the one that's on Facebook?
So yeah, there's man.
It's just click it below, dude. We'll
I don't even know
Well,
our
no,
shit,
but I want to make sure that they have a chance to look at all the different areas that there's different merch. So I want to,
absolutely.
make sure they're looking at all of it. We're going to take care of that. We'll put up all the links. We'll put up all the clicks. We'll make sure all of it's available for you. So don't stress on that.
Pretty much there's 2 Decayer merch stores. There's one on seekandstrike.com. That features like exclusive merch from our label that you can find. There's a lot of cool stuff over there.
Okay.
And then we have our official, like our Big Cartel store as well. And that just features like different types of stuff. The Big Cartel is going to feature more exclusive like short run type of stuff.
Okay.
That's going to be like a quick buy sellout type of thing, but we'll always be updating it with new type of things.
Okay.
I never buy limited merch, so
Shut up.
It sucks.
I buy everything.
I'm just going to send you so much limited merch, Sean. Just like, I'm going to annoy you with limited merch.
You know, I'm not even going to
Hey,
complain.
you can send him anything you want, but just
Exclusive.
I want the vinyls. Don't leave
Absolutely,
me
I
hanging.
got you.
That is where
No, and
I'm
you know
at.
what? I'm and it's good to know that too, because you know, I get so many messages from people being like, "Hey, man, like vinyls mean a lot to me." Like they genuinely care about, you know, the structure of how that release is. So it means a lot to me, man, to know that that it matters to you. You know?
Yeah. No, vinyls are like the #1 seller in my book.
I think. I mean, 2 points to that, of course. First of all, vinyls. I think there's something about it. There's something so classic, so traditional. So, you know, it's at the core of it all. You know, this is how rock and roll was born. Is records.
And also so crisp. That sound is just so.
Yeah, there's something to be said for sound quality for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing, Blaine, is I think this leads us beautifully into our next segment.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Want to hand me that?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for Who You Repping. And so, Who You Repping, I don't know. Has Jan explained this to you,
Of
Sean?
course I've explained
Yeah,
it.
You've explained it to
I've
him?
been excited.
Hell yeah. So, we've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but I want you to kind of give me something special. Give me something personal about Filthy Breakdowns. I want you to do something special for the kids at home so that they're like, I have to go and look at it.
You know what, man? It's really funny, but I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and a lot of people don't know this, but those videos you see, the edits, those memes, it's me making them at 5 a.m. in my bed, just like half asleep. That's just a magic time, bro. I like don't know what I got my little routine, you know what I mean? And I'm there, and I literally like to edit that early, and so I've created kind of a schedule for them with the bands I do, and a lot of the love comes from that. A lot of the reshares that we have are these memes that we've done. And a really good buddy of mine, Instagram Breakdowns, he's like, that's like my dude on there. Him and I have like go back and forth with ideas and just different marketings that we can do. We've just seen a lot of growth from the reshares of these videos and tagging and going directly to the Spotify and then having that push go directly to the band's Instagram, in which I've seen some bands that we posted get over 1,000 followers within a day, over 5,000
That's
streams.
awesome.
Yeah. And so what's great about it is, I have a Spotify playlist that follows with being featured, but the ability to be able to swipe up link and go straight to their Spotify, the ability to just kind of circulate it around to TikTok. TikTok's a big growing platform as well. But the ability to put them on a schedule and make sure that people, know that it's actually me talking to you and that I give a shit, and that, if you care about your band and you believe in it and you're willing to work and give the right things, and like other people out there will give a shit about you too. Cause like I've been there once before. So I think it's just work that keeps going, that helps me continue with my bands. And I literally love doing this. So.
That's awesome, dude. I love that.
Hell yeah. Filthy Breakdowns. It will have the link somewhere on the screen. Maybe here.
Shirt right there.
Maybe here. Maybe there. It's going to be on his heart right there. Just check out his sweet pecs right there. You can see it. But we're also going to have the links like whoosh, whoosh.
That's right.
Whoosh, somewhere right there.
Put a 6-pack on right there.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. We'll get you ripped. Don't you worry.
Right there. I'm all arms and shoulder, dog. I just like right over here.
Maybe some booby tassels. Get some shit going. Yeah.
It's gonna be a 6-pack of Coors Light though.
All right. Yeah. So. Hell yeah. But yeah, Filthy Breakdowns. Make sure you check that out on Instagram. And moving forward, Jan, who you reppin'?
Well,
I know who you reppin'.
You know who I'm repping. In fact, you bought me this shirt.
Hell yeah, I did.
You bought me this shirt at the very first post-pandemic live show I went to.
Our very first live experience together as bromies at Live Music. Yes.
How was that?
It was the first one where you
fan-fucking-tastic to finally see everybody alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went to see the homies in the phenomenal band Zon. Chaotic Math Grind, I think they call themselves. I'll have to look it up and confirm, but I'm pretty sure
they're fantastic mathcore to the core.
Yes,
I love that.
They're wonderful. Love their stage acts too. It's not just they're phenomenal musicians. They write amazing music, but really what sells Zon to me is they're just dudes having fun and loving what they do. I think what was it? The Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, it was Ninja Turtles
that came out as Ninja Turtles this round. It was wonderful. And they even admit it. It's been 2 years since we played a show. We might fucking suck, but hey, here we go. Here's music. You know what?
Yeah.
They absolutely killed it. I love those guys, and not just for their music, not just for their act, but for what they do for their people around them. They're all awesome dudes, and if you have a chance, check them out.
They showed up with 2 grocery bags of Otter Pops popsicles because it was 115 degrees that day, and it sucked ass. So they were handing out popsicles to everybody. Like, here, have a popsicle. Here, have a popsicle.
I'm not sure what melted faster, the popsicles or me.
Right?
Yeah. And I was going to say, you could easily make like $3 a pop from those, depending on
they just gave them away just to be cool with the homies. It was no big deal.
Cool.
To literally be cool.
To literally be cool.
I wish we in Decayer were that nice.
Sometimes you just gotta chill.
But,
bro, I'm gonna get Otter Pops now. You gave me that idea.
No, we didn't give you that idea. Zon gave you that idea.
Zon gave me
Zon.
And like an Otter Pop gun.
I'll send you the link for royalties later.
Right.
Cool.
But the thing about them too is that like they dropped their album right at the hit of the pandemic. Brand new album, had been working on it for years, finally dropped it, and literally I think it was just a week or two after they dropped it that the pandemic shut everything down and everybody started canceling. They're actually now booking next month, isn't it?
It's
next month. September?
I think it's early September. I'll have to double check. I'll put it right here. They have their release coming up. It's an album release show at the Big Timber in Spokane with Bone Prison, which we'll circle back to in a minute, I'm sure. But also Foes and of course the homies Steak Sauce Mustache.
Fuck yeah. So it's going to be a hell of a show. If you like Zon, please go support those guys because they're really trying to make that album happen now that we're out of the pandemic. There, like you were saying, it's not like you can't loop back around and have some fun with that shit, right, Sean?
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Exactly.
Look, their merch is fucking awesome. Go buy it.
Oh, yeah. So you were saying Deathosaurus is what you called your guys' shirt, right?
Yeah, Deathosaurus.
So I don't have the shirt here right now.
I don't either.
I'll have to put a picture of it. We'll have to put it up.
We'll put something up.
But their shirt is a samurai warrior with his sword out riding a raptor with
That's
like
so
decapitated heads on the ground. It is so
man.
fucking fantastic.
Talk about one upping us, you know what I mean? Oh
But,
shit. That's
yeah,
so cool.
so Zon is like the coolest homies ever. They're
Yes.
fun. They're all about that
Right.
goofy, having a good time.
I gotta
Awesome.
check out Zon for sure.
So
ZAN. You'll love
Shout
it.
out
yeah.
to Zon. I'll check out Zon.
they'll be
Cool.
down here.
You can check out Zon right here.
My man.
Right.
So I have to ask El Capitano.
You're gonna give me 2 seconds.
I'm going to give you 2 seconds. So he might either be grabbing some merch or peeing. Oh my God, he's unzipping. Oh no. Oh my God. This is not okay.
like a hairy
Children watch this. What the fuck? Okay, and we're back.
What is it?
So,
He comes back in a different pair of shorts.
and I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about
You know
that.
what?
So-
You're joking, but that has happened.
What's joking?
Oh, he said that you would come back in a different pair of shorts.
You know, I have done that on multiple occasions, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have do you know who Bro Job is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have their thick booty shorts, and
Yeah,
I have worn those on this show a couple of times now.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was the episode I died. This is my reincarnation.
So, are you going to ask me now?
I already asked you. You ran away.
I ran away. What did I run
Yeah,
away
you're like
from?
every woman in my life. What the fuck?
You know, I don't have answers to that one there, buddy. So I am representing the homies in the Drip. So the Drip is deathcore grind, fucking just
Black and
amazing. Black and
deathcore?
deathcore. They are.
Look at this hat, dude.
He's fixing his hat.
It says
His hat is
drip
back.
on it. It says drip on it.
Does it?
It's a cartridge. It's like a weed cartridge brand now. Little did I know I'm repping drip.
There you go.
So the Drip is like one of our local hometown.
Well, they're
Been
the hometown heroes.
Been signed. They're heroes. Like whenever they would play here, they are like everybody flocks to that shit. Like
For good reason.
and they were fucking
brutal.
amazing. They are sadly no longer together. They decided to call it quits and go their different ways. The singer is now actually doing what is that? It's
Gadgetor?
not Gadgetor, but what is that? It's not
Dark
eating
synth?
dark synth. Thank you. So he's doing more of a dark synth kind of a style music, no lyrics, no nothing like that, which is a shame because God, that dude has fucking pipes.
Yeah.
And so he's doing that. And the other members that have decided to continue on with doing projects have moved on to a band called Bone Prison.
Yes.
Bone Prison will be playing with Zon for their very first show.
The best part is that we didn't coordinate these outfits.
No, we didn't. It actually just panned out.
It just happened.
It really did. I really had no idea what he was going to
Yeah.
wear. So, but Bone Prison's going to be playing with Zon at their CD release show at the Big Dipper in Spokane, which we'll put the date and all that stuff up. But one
Good
of the
old
things
Spokane.
that I wanted to kind of show you is that
Yes.
this is what I was talking about when I was saying that, like, I have a shit ton of records that I'll display, and these cases are great because I can still pop them out and put them into the record player super easily. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's how records have just become like everything to me, especially now that it's becoming harder and harder to find bands with like posters. I was that kid who hung posters all over his wall. I mean, as you can see behind us, this whole wall is nothing but like bands, stickers, CD, album art, posters, the cloth drops, all that stuff. Records have kind of
This
become
is not even all of your stuff. I know
No,
you have
it's
more
not even
panels
remotely
sitting
close.
in the garage waiting, ready to go.
but
In some box somewhere.
No, not even in a box.
Boxes.
They're laid out,
Boxes.
ready to go. They're
Yeah.
stacked.
Yeah, that's cool.
but it's one of those things, like records have become not just like for the music aspect of them, but like the art.
The
It has
collectors.
become my new
Yeah.
collector's poster. It is that thing that I want the bands to sign and case and hold as that treasured memory forever. And like we were talking about, I mean, the splatter effects that you get on these albums now, you know, you've got like this beautiful gold and white cream and stuff like that. And I mean, that's just, it's just gorgeous. Just
It's
fucking
like
very
bringing,
pretty.
bringing like real art. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's like getting the most out of
Yes.
the tangible, you know, the thing that's tangible of something that you listen to. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, have you ever watched a record get pressed?
No, never have.
Oh my God. I need you to go on YouTube before you end your night and forget about this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Go and just watch how a record is made. And it looks like a spongy little donut, and they just put some coloring in it, and they squish the fuck out of it. And it is so fucking crazy because it's not how you would think a record would be made.
They call it a pressing for a fucking reason.
I understand that, but that is not how I thought it. I thought I was watching a donut making thing. I didn't even realize it was with records. And then I was like, holy fuck, that's a fucking record. Like, I didn't realize that's how they were fucking made. I just was watching one of those how it's made videos and I saw that and I was like, what are they doing with that donut?
No, you're right.
Most American thing I've ever heard.
Straight up.
I had no idea. I always like just fucking thought that it was like some thin layer that they just somehow were like had some adhesive.
See,
You know what I mean?
now I know that's how
I
they
had
do
no
CDs.
idea.
The CDs is the plastic and then the adhesive on the back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with records, I mean, I thought it was like maybe like plastic chunks and then like a press came down that had to be like put the actual like spirals into it to get the grooves for the music.
Because that's what because the groove part of it would change it, obviously. Because, that makes sense. So that's crazy.
It also makes sense why first presses are such a sought-after item when you realize that. Because there might be deterioration over many pressings.
Yeah.
I think it's also harder work, more work, like behind something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, definitely go check that out. Just look up how records are made. And especially if you can find one that does like the splatter effects on the record and stuff, it looks so fucking cool. You got to check it out.
Fucking sick, yeah.
But anyway, back to the Drip. The Drip is a fantastic band. Like I said, they're not together anymore. But if you still want to keep up with the members of the band, check out Gadgetor and check out Bone Prison because that is the two projects that they have moved on to. And the two new projects are actually really fucking dope. Yeah. So, I mean, there's no problems there. But I know that it was a very sad day when the Drip fell apart and was announced in our hometown. But always still going to represent. Fucking love those guys. They've been our heroes in this town for fucking 10, 15 years, something like that. So
they've headlined Raise a bunch of time. Yeah,
they've headlined quite a bit, and they've been on many tours and festivals.
Yes, for sure. They're all good guys too.
Yeah, super cool dudes.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, I'd say that's it for Who You're Reppin'. So, Jan, would you like to give out the closing spiel?
Oh, boy. It's up to me now. Okay, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like this one bit, please just hit that dislike button. You know what? Do it twice. It'll really hurt our feelings. On top of that, if you have any suggestions for topics, guests, or even if you want us to, promote your band or book your band for a show, papabeargigs at Hotmail. That is hotmail.com. That still exists?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still exist.
No, I mean Hotmail still exists.
No, I know.
Other than that, I'm sure that in a moment somebody will thank you and send you all the love. But before that, I just want to ask Sean, any shout outs that you want to throw out there?
Man, shout out to Arizona Metal. Shout out to the whole entire music scene, man. I think everybody in its own sense like works together as a team to, allow us to all be here. It's kind of a small, big world, but happy to be a part of it. And thank you guys for having me. Seriously.
For sure.
Hell yeah. What is the Arizona band that I love? I am now blanking. American Standards. Do you know American Standards?
Yeah.
You do?
Are they from here?
I believe they're from Arizona.
Shit. I didn't even fucking know that.
I'm pretty sure.
I have no
I
idea.
thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say.
They played with Steak Sauce.
They played with Steak Sauce and with Faust. I remember them.
Okay,
but I don't know where they're from.
I'm pretty sure they're Arizona.
Frankly, if you hear really weird cutting out during this segment, it's because we had to go back in and dub over all of this. So,
okay, so,
I'm not actually here.
But yeah, American Standards is some good homies of mine as well, and I love those guys. I'm pretty sure they're from Arizona as well.
I keep saying that. I really hope they're from there. This is going to be fucking awkward.
They're from like Boston. They're like from Boston.
Here I could tell you the answer right now.
I mean, I would absolutely love if American Standards turned out to be a Canadian band. That would just make my day right now.
Peruvian band.
Peruvian metal.
Right.
Yeah. Phoenix, Arizona. They're out of Phoenix.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit, that's embarrassing. I'm from here.
Dude, yeah.
I would be embarrassed if I was from Phoenix too. It's fine.
Yeah, no. American Standards is out of Phoenix, Arizona. I love those guys as well. But anyway, it popped in my head when I was looking back here. I was like, oh wait, yeah, they're from there, aren't they? So
American Standards. Yeah, we got some good bands here. We have Gate Creeper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We all love those dudes. All the metal bands out here. That's like the dad band to everybody. You know what I mean? It's a band that everybody respects for sure. So yeah, man, Arizona metal is definitely growing. You know how it is between West Coast to East Coast. All these all these different states, all these different parts of the country doing their thing, but it seems to be a worldwide thing and it seems to be growing.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
So Sean, do you have any last minute stuff for us?
You're gonna have to make him one up himself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anything else before I give the closing statements?
Shit, man, I don't know.
Make sure you check out Pestilence EP and buy that shit.
Yo, check out Pestilence EP, stream it. Decayer AZ at Instagram. Even if you go illegally download the fucking thing, go ahead. Just make sure you don't go rebrand it and sell it on a different CD. Then we'll be pissed. Yeah, man, we're really stoked. We have a festival coming up, Northern Alliance in Sacramento, and just be ready for Decayer to be playing in your state soon.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, dude. I am totally looking forward to it. And again, don't disappear when we end this podcast because I want to get some dates from you on that Utah one.
For sure.
Yeah.
But with that being said, guys, make sure that you check out Decayer. They are a fantastic band. Pestilence is the new EP, 5 tracks. You want to check that shit out.
If there's a link in this description, you should probably click it.
You should probably click it. Or
Over
tick
there.
it. Click it or tick it.
Scruff, McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. You can help take a bite out of crime.
Anyway. I still remember that shit from being a kid, dude. I don't know how the fuck I still remember that shit. But anyway.
We've all got our, and even like to this day, you probably still have that like commercial that, I got like 3 in the top of my head right now.
Dude, that's the hook. That is the hook. That's when people say, there was that rap song or hip hop song back in the day. What the hook gonna be? Uh-oh. I don't need no fucking hook on this beat. No. It's the whole point is that you can hook. If it's good, it's going to grab you. No fucking point.
Well, that was our outro by Blaine, professional hooker.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, think about it. Who doesn't know the Mario tune? Who doesn't? I mean, seriously.
Are you trying to get us a copyright strike by Nintendo, you motherfucker?
Yeah, they can suck my wang. I don't give a shit.
I'm like, what's that?
Because my boy Bowser going to show up and be like, squash that shit.
Oh, God.
We'll just change the names of them to like Bowser to Dowser.
There you go. There you go.
We'll get away.
It's okay. He's already got us in trouble with the Pokemon company. So. We were making fun of one of our buddies, and he pulls up for the cover of the Bleep Out, and I'm just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
And then Pokemon sued us.
I'm good.
And then Pokemon sued us.
I'm good.
They sued us.
Thank you.
That's kind of a win, though. I don't know if that's a win or a loss.
No press is bad press, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Papa Bear. Again, to my left is Jan the photographer.
Hi.
And on the wonderful screen over there, we have Sean LeBrew from Decayer.
Thank you guys so much. Check out this podcast. These are some real ass dudes doing some real things.
Hell yeah. Woo. Thank you. We appreciate that. And I just want to thank you all again for tuning in for another episode. And we will be seeing you soon. Again, also keep in mind that free shows are coming back with Papa Bear at Papa Bear and Associates at the Tin Hat. This August 7th, we have Sleep Signals, Third Park Avenue, and Rising Enemy. And that is free to the public. So please come on down, have some fun. We have done a fantastic job of trying to get everything back together and moving again. The Tin Hat has put in a shit ton of work. We have built up a bigger stage, a longer bar, a bigger outside area for live music events outside.
Better food.
Now there is food. I mean, it's grown so much. Shanna and her team at the Tin Hat have done an amazing job, and I cannot promote that enough. Jan was so fantastic as to do a wonderful little tribute music or kind of like promotional video.
You can see it on the Pop and Bear and Associates.
It's still a promotional video, and it's fantastic. Go check that out so you can kind of see what the new place looks like. And besides that, I'd say that's about it.
By the time this podcast goes live, there might be another show announced already.
Oh, that's probably true. So September 10th, that is going to be a punk night. We are going to be having Rotting in Place. You caught me off guard because I wasn't ready for this. Acid, huh?
Was it Acid Teeth?
Acid Reflex.
Acid Reflex, that's the one.
And then
Acid Reflex.
Daggerface. So there we go. You can't throw that at me. I'll catch me off guard, man. So Rotting in Place, Daggerface, and Acid Reflex will be a free punk night. Come on down. As I said, once we got back from the pandemic, I would be making sure that the first few shows would be absolutely 100% entirely free. I want everybody to get back into the swing of music, back into the swing of being a community again, and back to seeing all of their homies again once in the pit. So let's have some fun together. Let's make memories happen. Let's make dreams come true and bring music back stronger than ever. With that being said, I love you all. Good night.
Subscribe to my Onlyjans.
Papa Bear and Associates does not take any responsibility for sexual complications while listening to this program. Side effects have been known to include sweating, extended and unexpected erections, perked nipples, butt clenching, inflammation of the testicles, and anal seepage. Furthermore, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, you should make sure to send us your non-graphic pictures for our viewing pleasure. Thank you and much love.